Hello, good afternoon and welcome back to the FishLocker out on the boat. Hopefully, I say hopefully I'm out to go and get the pots. This is potentially going to be the last potting session I do of the year, and I think the conditions can tell you why. We have had 2 weeks, 2 whole weeks, well 15 days of horrendous weather. This is actually the best day that I'm going to get. So I'm going to try and get my pots back. Fingers crossed they're all still there and they're all in one piece. Yeah, unfortunately this time of year we just get bouts of this bad weather. We've had southerly winds for like 10 days, up to 40-50 mile an hour. Hey, believe it or not, this is the best day I'm going to get. Let's go. Well, if it was easy, everyone would do it. Right, we've got, these are fish well, these. Right. Little lobster and stacks of small edible crabs. 1, 2, 3. These are all females. 4. You can tell these are all females by that big pad underneath. One more. You might notice there how I spun the boat around so it wasn't facing the sun, and all it's done is it just spun straight back round again. Oh, I sight more crabs again. Most are undersized though, little male, Another little male. Undersized lobster, just undersized. I'm not going to measure him because I'm not going to mess about with it, but yeah, he's probably about 85 mil, just undersized. This fella, yeah, even though he's at half decent size, he's still undersized. This is a male, tell it's a male by that narrow V under there, a male brown edible crab. Another year and he'll be big enough. Another one. A female spider crab. You can see how red she is. There we go. So plenty in them, just nothing big enough. And the last one. Furbelows, kelps, spider crab. A little female edible. Another edible. Now that one's a legal sized lobster. And by the looks of it, so is that one. Perfect. Some boats are just awkward. It's like a woman. As soon as you ask her to try and do something, she was like, no, I'm going to do everything but what you've asked me to do. So yeah, she just won't lay. she won't, look, as soon as she turns around now, just spin straight back round and put us face into the sun. Yeah, I've got potentially 2 sized lobsters out of that fleet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and bring as many fleets in as I can, and if I have to leave the last one out, then so be it. Yeah, all I do is I just break them down like that, make the ropes up. Oh, and last one. Last one. You've got to look at getting the pots back at being a bonus. Yeah. As it is looking at all of these, we haven't got any keepers in these pots, but you've got to look at just getting the pots back at being a bonus. Right, first come, first serve. A little brown female edible crab. Now, the black pots that I shut out, the first ones that I pulled up, I shot those on an area for crabs. Now we're coming to the time of year when all the lobsters are moving back offshore. I shot these for lobsters. We have caught a few lobsters, but we haven't caught any that are big enough. So that shows me that the lobsters are all moving. They're all heading back offshore. So yeah, it's another good reason to knock it on the head. The little male guy, he's probably only 60 mil. And right at the back, there is a velvet swimming crab. Oh, there's another one. Another one hiding under the bait bag. This one's a female. Now I don't know if you can see the bait in there. The bait that I've got in here is a ling carcass. And it stinks. I cannot properly explain how much it stinks. Little corkwing wrasse. And a little female lobster that is, yeah, probably about 70 mil. But yeah, let's go, Jeremy. See you in a year or two's time, love. Oh, and another little velvet. What I have done is to try and combat the boat swinging round into the sun all the time, is I've stuck a drogue off the front. The problem that that's given us is we're now sitting like a quarter across the swell, so it's a lot more rolly. That's why that's happening. It's one of those situations where you can't have the best of both worlds. There's the top of the skull. There's the rest of the vertebra. Now, although he's big enough to take, he's only got one claw, so I'm going to let him go. A brown edible crab. An undersized lobster, and what looks like another. Yeah, that one there will be in the high 80s, but it's not big enough. Maybe 4 or 5 mil too small. I work my fleets in a certain way. Oh, I'll tell you what, he's sloppy now. This is what happens when you get broadside, when you get beam onto the swell. You're just rolling like that. Yeah, I make my fleets in a certain way so that I can break them down quite easily. So all I'm going to do is on all of my spinners, is I'm just going to undo all these knots, then all the pots will slide off the strings, and then tie all the ropes up and stash all the pots away. It makes it easier as well if you have to change one out, or if you lose one, or if one gets damaged, all you do is just take it off, just tie another one on. Yeah, this is the first year that I've worked these red ones, and they have worked really, really well. Get them all taken apart, get all this stinking bait shot over the side. We'll see about finding the last ones. The thing that it doesn't properly convey is the fact that the camera actually has stabilisation on it as well. So however bouncy and rocky it looks like, it's actually worse in real life. Yeah, just what it's like this time of year. Fishing wise, you just have to take absolutely every window opportunity that you can, no matter how small it is, because you don't know when the next one's going to come. And with the pots like this, I mean, I chanced my arm this time. I knew there was some bad weather coming, but the forecasts are only ever really believable up to about a week. And I thought, oh, well, a week of bad weather's not so bad. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks and we've got another week coming. Another thing, this is something that you've got to kind of learn by experience of your own boat. You have to find, nothing today is going to be very comfortable. Just find the speed and find the course that's going to be the most comfortable. So at the moment here, I'm only going at 4.5 knots, because I know if I go any faster, not only am I too much weight on one side because of these pots. The reason why I've put all the pots on one side and I'm on the other, it's because I'm counteracting some of the weight of the pots. If I started going too fast, all that would happen was I would just slam, and all of these would get thrown about all over the place, and then we'd end up with all the weight on one side of the boat. Another one full of seaweed. Well, I've got them. Now, the tide's turning, it's getting rougher, and I'm quite near to the shore. So I'm going to steam in a little bit and then sort these out when I get in there, just because it's not worth the risk out here. The main thing is that I got them. You see now why I've lashed them down, can't you? Worst thing that could happen is if you get a load of weight and you turn over and it all slides and it becomes like an unstable load. That's when you start getting into trouble. So you can see I've tied everything down. Yeah. It's unbelievable how quick it turns as well. As soon as that tide's turned and we've got wind against tide, it's just, well, you can see I'm building, look. Timed it just right. I've took myself in here to be able to check these off just because I was getting absolutely thrown around all over the place. Now, I think what I am going to do is I'm going to rebait these ones and I'm going to shoot these ones back tight and short so I can keep a fleet of pots out so I can just check them every now and again. This is because of all the bad weather we've been having. Get a lot of weed in the pots, especially the soft-eyed pots, and it holds the doors open. It holds the spouts open, so things can climb straight in and climb straight out again. So yeah, weed in the pots isn't a good thing. A female spider crab, a one-clawed male brown edible crab, one-clawed brown edible crab. Oh, he's been bullying this one. He's taken the claws out. You can see he's got smash in there as well. That big crab there has been eating this one. Poor little tight. Kelp and kelp on more kelp. Need to be cautious doing that. I could see there was a lobster there, but I could have just thought it was a seaweed and put my hand straight in there and come out with a lobster at the end of my finger. Now this one, put you there for a second. Get the rest of this. And a little velvet. Yeah, the bait that's in here has been well and truly chewed. You can see it's just all the bits of the fish carcasses that are left. I think this was a gurnard actually. That was probably a scad. That lobster that was in there, ooh, I tell you what, actually that was probably close. Little female, it's probably close to being minimum. $89 89 from the back of the eye to the back of the head. They need to be 90mm, so she's 1mm under. Lucky lady. Now it doesn't, although when I picked these up, I picked them up out at sea, and now I'm tight in shore. She'll crawl straight back out of there, or she'll just find a little home somewhere in the rocks in here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I'm not putting them back exactly where I got them from. You should. Yeah. Ideally, in an ideal world, if you could, you should. It just wasn't safe for me to do so. So. Doesn't really matter to them. It's not going to hurt them none. Ooh, and finally we might have a size one in here. Velvet swimming crab. Lobster. $88. 2mm undersized. Yeah. Two millimeters undersized. See you in a year. And in the bottom of this pot there are 2 spider crabs. A big female, and is this one a female or is this one a male? Alright. Well, that works well actually. This one's a female, this one's a male. See the difference straight away by the shape of their undersides, can't you? So he's got a large pad there for holding eggs, and he's got a narrow pecker. Yeah. These would be legal size to take, but the majority of the meat is in the claws. He's only got one of them and she's got small ones. So yeah, this one, the bait's completely gone as well. Scrabble around, rebait these, shoot these ones back, and get the other ones ashore. That brings us to the end of our lobster potting for 2022. I hope you've enjoyed joining us throughout the year. I hope you found it interesting. All the very best. See you next time.